Chosen one. How to overcome the resistance that stops you from evolving. Understand this. Resistance is that invisible force keeping you exactly where you are, trying to stop you from moving toward your true greatness. You've probably felt it before. That heavy feeling in your chest when you think about doing something different, an energy that seems to pull you back, holding you down. But what few people realize is that this resistance is what separates those stuck in the ordinary from those who truly advance to the next level of their lives. And yes, you, being here, are different. You feel it deep inside. Resistance is subtle. It knows how to disguise itself. It might be that little voice telling you that you deserve to rest after a hard day. It can hide behind other people's opinions, external pressures, or even the comfortable routine you've created to feel safe. It adapts to its surroundings, like a chameleon blending in with the scenery. That's why it's so hard to notice it's there, holding you back, keeping you from reaching your full potential. Chosen one. You know that moment when you decide to do something different, like starting a diet, beginning a new project, or dedicating more time to your spiritual growth. Resistance will show up, and it doesn't play games. It might disguise itself as tiredness, lack of time, or worries that seem legitimate, but are just well-crafted excuses to keep you stuck. It wants to keep you trapped, comfortable in your inertia, far from the discomfort of growth. But you, as a chosen one, were not made to stand still. When you decide to change, resistance will do anything to distract you. It might be that sudden urge to abandon a plan because it didn't work out right away, or that irresistible invitation to procrastinate a little longer. Resistance is cunning and plays on your weaknesses, making you believe it's okay to leave for tomorrow what you know you should do today. And this is where many get lost, thinking they're just resting or waiting for the right moment. But the right moment is an illusion. It's now or never. Recognize that resistance manifests in the small habits of everyday life. That quick scroll through social media that turns into an hour wasted. The dessert after every meal that sabotages your diet. The excuse that the day was too long to do anything productive. All these small actions are expressions of an enemy that wants you stuck where you are. But you, chosen one, have the ability to see beyond appearances, to realize that these small vices are nothing more than obstacles disguised as comfort. And look, resistance isn't just about willpower or discipline. It feeds on your fears, insecurities, and especially your lack of clarity about what you truly want from life. It's a force that hides behind seemingly rational justifications, but is actually a ploy to keep you where you are. It's that thought of "I'll start tomorrow" or "I deserve a break today," which are just excuses to avoid the discomfort of growth. To overcome it, you need to understand that resistance is part of the process. It's no use trying to eliminate it completely. It will always be there, trying to sabotage you, trying to convince you that the easy way is the best. The key is to develop a high degree of self-awareness, to be attentive to when resistance is acting, and to question each of its manifestations. When you recognize that it's not fatigue that's stopping you, but this invisible force, the game begins to change. Many confuse resistance with a lack of motivation or even fear, but it's more than that. It's your brain's way of protecting you from the unknown, a way to keep you in your comfort zone. However, growth means leaving that zone, challenging the patterns, and putting yourself in new situations, and resistance will fight against this with everything it has. But you have a power that many don't. The ability to reinvent yourself, adapt your strategies, and keep going even when everything seems to be pulling you back. Facing resistance head-on takes courage. It requires seeing beyond the excuses and realizing that, in the end, it's you who needs to choose growth. And growth, chosen one, doesn't happen by accident. It's a daily decision, a conscious choice to go beyond who you were yesterday. It's about recognizing that every little step forward counts, that every time you resist the resistance, you're one step closer to your true potential. As Don Juan taught Carlos Castaneda, forms are tools, not prisons. Adapting, changing, and reinventing yourself are ways to face resistance. When you break away from what's habitual, challenge your limitations, and do something different, resistance loses some of its power. This can be as simple as changing your morning routine, or as profound as questioning your most deeply held beliefs. Every change is a blow to resistance and a step toward freedom. But what really makes a difference, chosen one, is clarity of purpose. When you know what you want, when you have a goal that sets your heart on fire, resistance starts to lose ground. It will still try. It will find new ways to show up, but you will be prepared. Your purpose is your anchor, the force that pulls you forward even when everything around you seems to want to stop you. Having a purpose is like having a lighthouse in the storm. It guides you, lights your way, and reminds you why you started. And this purpose doesn't need to be something grand in the eyes of others. It just needs to make sense to you. It's your fuel, what makes you get out of bed even on the toughest days, what keeps you going even when resistance seems the strongest. Remember, chosen one, you are not alone on this path, and every step, no matter how small, is one less step for resistance and one more toward your evolution. So, tell me, what truly motivates you? What makes your heart race? Don't be fooled by resistance, which will try to convince you that the easy way is the right one. Know that you have the power to decide what to do with your time, your energy, and your life. And when you decide you want more than the comfort of your safety zone, resistance, no matter how strong, stands no chance. If you're here, it's because you already know resistance is real. You felt it working, trying to pull you down. But remember, you are a chosen one. You were called for something greater, and your purpose is your most powerful weapon against resistance. Now that you understand how resistance works, it's time to talk about how to break this cycle and take control of your life once and for all. The truth is, resistance doesn't disappear, but it can be weakened and managed. And this starts with a conscious choice to challenge the status quo every day, to get up and act even when everything inside you begs to postpone, to give up. One of the most effective ways to face resistance is by creating powerful habits that propel you toward your goals. This may seem simple, but resistance loves to underestimate the strength of a good habit. It will try to convince you that a small detour, a break, or a moment of weakness won't make a difference. But it does, chosen one. Every time you give in, resistance grows stronger, bolder, more confident that it can stop you. This is where you must be strategic. Think of your habits as little anchors that keep you steady amid the storm of resistance. It can be something as simple as waking up at the same time every day, meditating for 5 minutes in the morning, or dedicating half an hour to learning something new. The secret lies in consistency, in commitment to yourself. Even when no one is watching, even when resistance whispers that it's okay to skip today. Another powerful tool against resistance is visualization. Chosen one, you must see yourself beyond resistance. Imagine yourself at your best, living the life you truly want. When you create a clear mental picture of what you want to achieve, your brain starts working in your favor, creating paths and solutions to get there. Resistance doesn't stand a chance against a determined mind that clearly sees its destination. This isn't about illusions. It's about training your mind to recognize that the future you want is possible and within your reach if you persist. Every visualization is a reminder of why you started and a way to strengthen your will against the onslaughts of resistance. But perhaps the most important thing, chosen one, is learning to forgive yourself. Resistance is cunning, and at some point you might stumble. You might give in to fatigue, postpone something you know you should do, or fall back into an old habit. And that's okay. What can't happen is letting those moments define your path. You are human, and growth is not a straight line. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, adjust your course, and move forward with even more determination. Resistance wants you to feel defeated, to give up at the first mistake. But chosen one, understand, every small setback is just part of the process. It's not about never failing. It's about getting up every time you fall, about not letting resistance turn a fall into surrender. And every time you rise, you show yourself that resistance, no matter how strong it seems, will never be stronger than your will to win. Remember to celebrate every small victory along the way. Resistance hates when you recognize your own progress because that means you're winning. So, celebrate your achievements no matter how small. That morning when you got up early to exercise, that time you chose to study instead of watching TV, that moment when you said no to something that pulled you away from your purpose. It all counts. And these victories are what build your resilience, what make you more capable of facing resistance head-on. And, chosen one, know that you are not alone in this fight. There are others like you, spread across the world, facing their own resistances and moving forward. Even when everything seems to want to stop them, when you feel you're about to give in, remember that there's an invisible network of chosen ones, all connected by the same mission: to grow, evolve, and transform the world around them. Be the example for those who will come after you. By overcoming your own resistance, you're not just helping yourself. You're also paving the way for other chosen ones. Your victory is a beacon for those who are still lost, a sign that it's possible to overcome any obstacle, no matter how hard it seems. Resistance might be strong, but you are stronger. Every step forward, every act of courage, every conscious choice not to give in is a victory that echoes beyond you. And finally, chosen one, never underestimate the power of community. Connect with others who are on the same path. Share your victories and struggles. Resistance loves isolation. It wants you to feel alone, to believe that no one else understands what you're going through. But don't fall for it. Find those who are also facing resistance. Exchange experiences, offer, and receive support. Together, you are stronger, and every word of encouragement, every shared piece of advice is another tool to face resistance. Now, chosen one, it's time to act. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. Resistance will always try to create barriers, always try to distract you, always invent reasons for you to delay what needs to be done. But you, who have come this far, know that the real power lies in action, in the conscious choice to do what's necessary to grow. So, face resistance today, right now. Take a step, no matter how small, but take it. Because every step you take is a victory against this invisible force trying to keep you stuck. You are a chosen one, and your journey is too important to be interrupted by something as small as resistance. If you need me, I'll be here to continue supporting you on this path. Let's go together, chosen one.